You've been doing this for how long now?
This is
Not
the first
on
time I've seen
YouTube.
this.
We haven't been doing on YouTube that long.
That's fair.
Thank you, John.
You're welcome.
246. Is this it?
It's 246 is the next episode. Okay, now it's... I don't know anything anymore.
I think it's live. I don't know.
Let's see.
Yep, there it is. It's live.
Okay, well, that was weird.
Yep, it's live on YouTube, at least on my phone.
Yeah, I'm looking at mine right now. Oh, yeah, it says live now, and it says 246.
All right, we're good.
Let's do it.
I mean, I'm already live on whatever.
No, I meant just go.
I'm still recording.
Hey, everybody.
That was weird.
All right, you want me to go ahead and count us in?
Sure.
All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You are live.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of TFG Radio. On a little late because John decided to have dinner.
I did decide to
I
have
fell
dinner.
asleep.
No, I did not fall asleep. I was like,
No,
you
I'm talking
cocker.
Adam. Adam fell asleep.
I fell
Oh,
asleep,
I fell asleep.
which worked out for me.
Nice.
I went to go get my semi-monthly or every other month eye shot, and I took a nap, and my wife decided not to wake me up, so it all worked out.
I like it.
But
like it.
as you can hear, it's myself, Adam, John on the wheels of steel,
Yep.
and Danny.
Hey.
No Tom today.
Nope.
We are a Tomless
podcast.
podcast.
Number of Toms, 0.
No number of Toms.
He's getting arrogant since we have to go to his house all the time now.
Yeah. Full of himself. That Thomas.
Yeah. Well,
So hey, Adam, how was SoCal Open?
Yeah, so it's been 3 weeks because I did go on a trip to Mexico for a wedding, which was I went for a week and a half. First 5 days was basically nonstop parties at various houses and the wedding itself, and a lot of mezcal, which
No
I now
pulque.
have a taste for.
Oh no, he's got a taste for blood. Look out!
See, it was always too smoky for me. I've never liked it.
That's what I like about it.
Yeah, I love mezcal.
That's fair.
And then we spent the rest of the time in Mazatlan,
Hell yeah!
which was really nice. I did get flashbacks to my childhood because I did ride in the back of a truck a lot. Got to interact. Well, I didn't get to interact, but we got to witness the local. I call them militia.
The federales?
No, not the
It's cartels.
Okay.
Not in a bad way though. It was just more or less just while getting to somewhere. It was fine.
Taking the not toll road.
Yeah. Hey, I know the secret road where the toll's a lot cheaper. I'm like, okay, whatever. So it was fine. Got to see a lot of cathedrals because apparently every city has one.
Yeah.
I got to go to church more than I actually do here in the U.S. So
Yeah,
This all tracks.
and
perhaps a yay, probable boo.
it was fine. They were nice. I mean, we got to be there for Day of the Dead. That was really nice.
That's kind of cool.
Like I mentioned in our chat, I got to see a trunk or treat, but the cars still moved. So,
Yeah, how did that work?
So
Move fast,
it's
children.
almost like Colorado Boulevard during New Year's Eve, where the cars kind of slowly drive through the street. I don't know why you would drive through Colorado Boulevard on New Year's Eve, but and then they would either throw candy out, and then I would see the children literally run into the street to grab the candy. I'm
Nice.
like, oh my god! Or they would just stop and hand the candy out, and then keep on going. That's more or less how it went. It wasn't too bad, but it was fun. Mazatlan was a lot of fun.
So great. And you even got to go to one of my recommendations, Tequilitas.
Yes, we went to Tequilalita, which was actually really good. We went to one of the places that serves only fish dishes, and it's literally right on the beach.
Was it in Playa Bruja?
I can't remember which beach it was.
Okay.
Because I wasn't driving, so I didn't pay attention.
That's fair.
But I think it wasn't in Old Town Mazatlan, but it was a little bit north of that.
Oh, so that's like, yeah, that's the halfway point between the District Histórico and like the kind of like more modern, hip part with, you know, like where Senor Frogs is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Senor Frogs.
Senor Frog. Mazatlan's where it's from. So that you're in the hometown of, you know, El Chapo and Senor Frogs.
There's a lot of those the Senor Frog stores, along with like the little tiny Senor Frog like outlets or little.
The Pretenders.
No, it was Senor Frogs, but it was just tiny little like, almost like imagine like one man shops for GW, like tiny little stores that sold shirts and stuff. But it was a lot of fun. There was.
Did you eat Reen pizza?
No, I didn't eat
That's
pizza.
like the local chain. That's actually Reen's not bad, but it's their local chain.
I saw them,
It's
yeah. We saw them,
there's
but
a lot of them.
We ate mostly either because I was with the family. I wasn't there for like touristy stuff, so it was more home cooked meals, which were really good, and whatever restaurants they knew to go to. Because the Tequilalita was my suggestion because you had suggested, so we went there, and it wasn't that, you know, it wasn't too far.
Well, I'm glad I didn't piss your family off by proxy, where they're like, "What the fuck is this, Adam? Can't you go on way? Like, what are you doing? Why are you taking us? Why are you listening to some fool taking us someplace?"
And the seafood one was cool because you got to pick your fish.
Oh, that's cool.
That's how fresh it was. So
I wanted like
the fried fish.
I wanted like The Simpsons with a steakhouse where you get to pick the cow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was kind of like that. So there's a lot of like people doing I don't want to say side hustle, but a lot of street vendors. So like we bought pan dulce, but out of the back of some guy's truck or car.
That's the best kind of anything, is when you can buy it out of the back of someone's car.
Yeah, there was a lot of that of different things. In Durango, there was a lot of shoe shine booths.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, well, there were a lot of boots there, so
I was gonna say that's kind of a boot scene, so that makes sense.
So
anyway,
but it was fun. It was a lot of fun.
Well, glad to have you back.
I don't know if I'd go like a week and a half again, but that was more of a family thing because my wife hadn't been back in like almost 40 years.
Oh wow, that's a long time.
Yeah, she came to the U.S. when she was 12, so she's
Got it.
my age now, so it's been 38 years. So
Right.
So she was happy. You know, my daughter went with us, and she was fun. She was happy. It was a lot of fun. The wedding was amazing.
Nice.
So there was actually fireworks in the wedding. So, literal fireworks.
That's cool.
But while I was gone, a lot has happened. SoCal Open happened. We had Arthur 2 winning SoCal Open. He was also the winner of Hammer Wrath. And because he already had a golden ticket, James Carmona, who came in second, ended up winning the golden ticket. I believe he is going, which is essentially tomorrow. No, next week. Sorry,
right.
Next week.
Yeah,
Not
I was
tomorrow.
just say it's coming up.
But even so, that's coming up pretty fast. Danny helped me judge the event this year, and it was actually pretty chill.
Yeah, I mean, SoCal's easy. Like, it's everybody kind of knows each other. It's a very much a laid back vibe. You know, it's I mean, I think we only had really one that I can know of, one really chippy game.
Yes.
And,
Yeah.
but otherwise, it was. I mean, I mean, it was just fun. Like, I love SoCal because, you know, there's like 200 some players, and I have probably had a conversation and positive interaction with every single one of them at this point, between doing SoCal and being a SoCal native and LVO. That is great. Like, it's just, you see all these people and, you know, get to bullshit and have fun, and for the most part, people get along. There's a lot of judge questions, but it's, you know, usually just easy stuff that people have, like, don't play that often. So it's like, you know, if you play maybe like once a month, and then you go to SoCal and you're like, hey, what's this acrylic shit on the terrain? What does this mean? You know, you're going to get questions. And I totally understand, and I don't begrudge anybody anything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. There was
a good point.
We did try out a new system of calling a judge over, where I had a QR code on a business card at each table, and they would scan the QR code and it would text a number for us to get a judge there. And it seemed to work fairly well. I never felt, because it was only about 200 players, I never felt like overwhelmed and like, there were a couple times where I got like 2 requests at the same time.
Sure.
The only issue was that I was the only one that could see it, so I'd have to tell Danny to go to the table instead of maybe, if Danny was next to me. Otherwise, I would have to go to the table, and sometimes the table would be on the other side of the hall, and Danny had already gotten there before or they had answered the question by the time I got there. But we didn't hear as many judge yelling, because a lot of them use the QR code instead.
Yeah, that's fair.
It was
so
a
we're
workable
going to try
system.
to roll it out for LVO. We just probably need
You need a dispatcher.
A dispatcher and headsets for everyone that's going to be
Makes sense.
The LVO. So there was like a couple things that we realized during the course of the weekend. One was that people are still confused by the new close combat rules in regards to consolidation and pile-in, especially when a unit is wiped out or killed whatever they were attacking, or that, you know, someone pulled the models. And the other thing was that it was very difficult to find certain rules.
Oh God, yes. Oh, I mean,
even with the app.
I'm just gonna, for LVO, I'm gonna make sure I have my insert. I'm just going to take my rule book and just take it to, like, just scan it and take it to Kinko's and get a copy of just the rule spiral bound, right? Just finding rules in the app is insanely bad, like, because to look up something like consolidation rules, you're like, oh, I'd look up consolidate, but the actual rules that maybe you're looking for are in a completely different section. Like, I'm trying to remember the specific example where, you know, we were looking for a rule, and I knew what it was because I'd stumbled on it earlier, but I could not find it. It was something, I think it had something to do with falling back, but it wasn't in falling back. It was in a completely other section.
It was one of the ones which stuck out to me was in regards to transports.
Oh, right. Emergency.
So we had a question about, I think it was like something to do with a rhino or something. So I typed in transports in the app, and nothing came up in regards to the rule. And then, Danny, you figured out that it was under dedicated transports.
Yes, there it is. Oh,
and
it was. Where does the rule say that you have to start a dedicated transport with models embarked?
Yeah. And even though I typed in transports, the dedicated transport stuff didn't show up in the search.
Yeah, it's they just have. GW actually needs to, like, maybe hire someone like a librarian, someone who has like a master's in information systems, to like actually go through and code and like tag and label all the relevant stuff so you can search for it easily.
Yeah. No, that's not a bad point.
I feel like they've just probably, whoever built the app, they're like, yeah, just collate the data as you kind of, you know, do it. And you've got a bunch of people who, you know, I'm sure are very gifted in computer science, but like actual information management is a very different system, right? So
yeah.
Yeah.
The other thing was that certain rules are not even in the app, but
new orders.
So new orders is the one that lets you spend a command point to discard an order that you just one of the secondaries that you just
tactical
pulled.
Yeah.
So you spend a command point and you get rid of it. It's different from the one that you do at the end of the turn, where you get rid of it and gain a command point. It's two different ways to do it. And the one new orders, which is what the stratagem's called, is not, as far as I can tell, is not in the core rulebook, but it's actually in the little pamphlet you get when you buy the Leviathan cards.
Okay.
Which I think are now back on sale since they fixed the printing issue. So, but that's not something that's widely known. You know it's there because everyone talks about it, but you don't know where it's at. And that's not the only thing that's like that. Like some rules are only in the Leviathan tournament packet and not in anywhere else. So for us, for the judges, I'll probably have to do a reference sheet of where to find what common rule that we always talk about, but can't really find where it's at. So just so we know.
It's a nightmare.
Yeah, so it was a bit. It didn't cause that much of an issue, but it was still an issue when something came up, especially in the later rounds towards the top tables.
It really slowed me down sometimes because I'd just be like, "Oh God, where can I get this? Where can I find this?"
Yeah. Once again, the venue was nice. We had a good time. SoCal Danny did not show up.
Kind of on Friday night. I mean, you took off too early to really see that.
Yeah, but I wasn't. No, it wasn't the same.
No, yeah, I was pretty.
It wasn't
I was
SoCal Danny.
I was low key. I was controlled.
Well, then if you're controlled, that's not SoCal Danny.
I mean, that's fair. SoCal Danny is definitely
You can't control SoCal Danny.
hell no.
No, definitely not. There's no control in that.
I'm a leaf on the wind.
Oh God, considering what happened to him.
Yeah, that's basically my life, so that's fine. Although I think it's funny, yeah, it definitely wasn't SoCal Danny because Tom did control me at one point where, I went out to get a cigarette with Tom and a couple of other guys, and there was some kind of wedding party or something, but there was someone I really wanted to talk to for very obvious reasons, and who was already in the middle of a group of people talking to her, and I started veering over, and Tom just grabbed me by the shoulders, like, "Nope, this way, buddy."
That's right. I remember Tom telling me about that, like the next day.
Yeah.
KR Quinn is saying that not having actual missions and secondaries in the app is one of the things, which I agree.
Yeah. Doesn't make sense to me, but I guess it doesn't have to.
I mean, it's only just another category to put in.
Yeah.
But whatever. What do I know? So SoCal was a lot of fun.
Yeah, glad I went. Had a great time.
Yeah.
It was good to see everybody. Doing I will say with the painting stuff, like easily the finest showcase of armies we've had in terms of like the top 10 and everything else. It was really tough to go through it. So I'm glad I had Jacob from the Hobby Goblins there. Because there was just some really great armies and just people really brought it hard. So it was wonderful. And it was, good to meet people and good to talk to people. And, I can't wait for LVO, right, in January. I'm big looking forward to that. So,
Yes, I bet you are.
Thanks.
I can't wait either, for numerous reasons.
No, I already said, I'm really going to try and be good when we get in on Thursday because I would like to start a tournament. No, I'd like to start a tournament round 1 not being like completely hungover. Maybe round 4. Yeah, maybe just round 4. We'll do that.
Good luck with that.
Yeah. Well, nothing sobers you up like walking 10 miles over the course of a day.
So people seem to like the QR code thing and generally have a good time at SoCal Open. It was a lot of fun. I already forgot what happened after that. It's all been a big blur the last 2 weeks.
I don't know. We got the 40K Christmas boxes.
Yeah, did you look at those? I didn't look at those.
The Angron one, like if you want to start World Eaters, that's actually a pretty good deal.
You mean the Cali Cup winning Angron army? Because it's very similar to what the box is.
Yeah. No, I mean it's a good one. I'm actually, I have no money, but if I did, I'd be tempted to get the I'd be tempted to get the Space Marine one, just because it's perfect for my white scars of like, oh, here's some jump pack Marines.
Yeah.
And
the random ATV.
Yeah, another ATV. So I'm like, oh, cool, two ATVs, and I don't really need the extra bikes because you can't take them in squads bigger than 3, which is dumb. They should make those things so you can take them in squads of 6. Then they'd actually maybe be worthwhile when you can really load them up. But Yeah, it's not bad. I mean, cool boxes. I mean, I actually really like the Orc one too, because it's like you get a kill rig, you get the squig riders, you get the boss on a big squig. Like that's a pretty cool set.
Yeah, because we also had the California Cup, which was in San Diego, California. Also, that one was at a dance hall, and Anthony Vanilla won with World Eaters, Danny.
I mean, if it depends on the terrain setup. If you can, well, now with the point drops, and if you're actually using like a GW style terrain setup with like actually blocking line of sight and a lot of space to move, then World Eaters can be really good because they're infantry.
I think they use either player placed or a modified player placed terrain. They didn't use GW setup. I know that.
But if they have if they have something like the FLG with like the acrylic bases, you know what I mean?
Yeah, we did have those at SoCal, and there were some complaints because it was too much terrain.
Yeah.
Which I can see, especially if you use it as player place. So I think they're still working on what to do about that. Because I think some of it will be at LVO, but no, we're not using the GW terrain rules.
Yeah, I mean, I really want to play. I don't think I'm going to get a chance to play next week. But I'd really love to play my World Eaters and give my list or another run now that it's like 200 points cheaper and I can put another unit in or something.
Yeah, because I think like I said, that Christmas box is very similar to what Anthony was taking.
Yeah, I think I've come to the conclusion you need the berserkers or jackals for the banner, so you can manipulate your blood tithe more.
Yeah. So that was Cali Cup. They had about 90. I think it was 98 players or 96.
It's not a bad showing at all. Not too shabby at all.
Which is really good. That's put on by the XPC guys. So, and then we had more previews for Warhammer: The Old World.
Hell yeah!
Well, now that you have Bretonians,
I do. I have a wonderful, beautiful painted Bretonian army that I'm very excited to put on that table because I love fantasy. I mean, people who've been listening to the show long enough know that like I really started competitive playing with fantasy. And just played I played the shit out of 6th, 7th, and 8th. So yeah, like pretty much all my proper fantasy armies are gone, but I did get that sweet Bretonian army from Dana, who passed. So like I have most of his Brets, so I'll probably get like one of the new kits for the King on the Griffin or Pegasus or whatever, and do my best to paint it up to the highest quality possible. And I have like 60 knights, so I'm ready to go.
What do you need peasants for?
Yeah, why would I don't know why you would play Bretts to play peasants, although I do remember I think it's 7.
Well, remember there was like a couple
peasant
builds.
Spam was good.
Yeah, there was like a build or two that was like all peasants.
It was peasants and trebuchets, and that shit was annoying as fuck.
Yeah.
And like one unit of Grail Knights that would just kind of linebacker and wait for you to get stuck in, and they would just come in on the charge and just blow you out of the water as you were tar pitted in peasants.
Yeah, I mentioned playing that game in a smaller scale, and you basically got mad at me. So
yes, because we have Bretts for a reason.
No, you have Bretts.
I have Bretts, so you can figure it out, bro. All right.
Well, I can do both, so it's
and I'll play whatever Epic is when that comes out too next year.
Well,
with you,
I don't know,
I'll use the proper scale.
Because, well, like I said, I would probably do Tomb Kings only because it's easier to paint and quicker to paint.
Yep.
Than some of the other armies that were basically shown that they're going to have in the initial release.
Yeah, Empire and Orcs. I mean, Orcs are pretty easy.
Well, it's Empire, Orcs,
Bretonians, Tomb Kings, Chaos.
Tomb Kings, Dwarves, and I think Wood Elves.
Yeah,
I do love.
I think it's Wood Elves, yeah.
And then, because the remember Athalorian is next to Bretonia, so
yeah, that makes sense.
That makes sense. So it's those like 6 or 8 armies, Orcs and Goblins. Those are the initial releases for
Vampire Counts.
Did they say Vampire Counts?
Yeah. Pretty sure they said Vampire Counts.
Yeah, they might have.
Seems weird if they didn't, since they're like literally right next to both Bretonians and Empire.
Well, either case, I'll probably end up doing Tomb Kings just because skeletons are easy to paint.
And Tomb Kings are awesome.
And gold.
So. Tomb Kings are dope. So
and
why wouldn't you?
And then I can just 3D print the 10 millimeter. I think I'm going to do 10 millimeter. Maybe 6. I don't know. We'll see. There's a lot of people nowadays that print that have designed smaller scale GW looking armies or Lord of the Rings looking armies. So like there was a convention in the East Coast where someone put on the Siege of Helm's Deep, but it was in 6 millimeter scale.
6 millimeter?
Yeah.
Jesus. I mean, that's pretty cool, though, to be fair.
My God.
it was.
My God.
It's slightly smaller than the new Epic. That's basically what 6 mil is. Speaking of which, since we talked about Old World a little bit, did you look at some of the rules, Danny, for Old World?
Yeah, it's like a cleaned up Fantasy 8th. Right, so, they're doing the... God, I feel like they did this in... What edition did they do this in 40K too? Where they separate psychic powers happen in specific phases, right? Like depending on the kind of psychic power it is, it like happens in a specific phase.
Oh, wasn't that second?
Maybe.
No, second had the cards.
Yeah. It wasn't cards. It was something
third.
else,
it was third edition.
Yeah, but they're doing that. So like certain spells only happen in the movement phase. Different there's command phase essentially. And all this stuff, but like it looks good. Like the movement rules that they showed are cleaned up 8th, right? Like wheeling and stuff like that, but a little simplified. I really like the way they changed charging, which is not like 2d6, whatever. It's d6 plus your movement, right? So like that classic fantasy thing where there's a floor essentially of how far you can move, so you can get auto pass charges.
Oh, yeah.
How far you're stretching. Because, like, Bretonians who move, like, 10 or 12, right? Like, okay, I'm going, minimum 13 inches here.
Yes.
So it's great. I'm really excited for Old World. And, even if I didn't have the Bretonians, I probably would have kept my Lizardmen, because most of them are on
you kept them on squares.
Yeah. Well, they're gone now, but, I could have put something together. But, I got the Bretonians, so... It'll be okay. Yeah. But I'm big amp for it. I love fantasy. Like I love fantasy so much.
I played basically every GW game.
Yeah, I mean, more or less the same. But fantasy was my number one for a long time.
I would play fantasy before I play Age of Sigmar because I already have a round base game.
Yeah, I mean, I like Age of Sigmar a lot. Age of Sigmar is fun.
Yeah,
assuming everything goes well, I'm going to be going in April to play my first Sigmar GT up in Canada at Dayton's event.
Yeah.
So like I really like Sigmar, but fantasy is just it. There's this nostalgia thing of like, oh man, this is the game I played the shit out of for like 8 years in my early 20s, right? From my early to late 20s. Right. Like this is the game I just played the shit out of.
It's also just like very different. Whereas like Sigmar is kind of like, oh, it's like 40K now.
It's 40K, but melee is more important than shooting.
Right. With
some more randomized rules in it. Like, which is why I like Age of Sigmar, because I like melee over shooting anyway. But, fantasy is just its very own, like, old school style, like almost historical, like rule set. In terms of wheeling and formations and ranks and flanks and all that good stuff. And I still, to this day, it's one of the gospel truths I think Travis has said is that a fully painted, beautiful fantasy army all ranked up is just the coolest fucking thing to see on the tabletop if you don't know what's going on.
Especially Bretonians.
Yes.
Yeah.
I really like the new lance formation they gave them. Where it wasn't the traditional essentially 3 by 5.
You mean the bowling pins?
Yeah, now it's actual V formation, which I'm like, that's cool. Like that, I think that looks better.
Yeah, I'm looking at it now. There's land, skirmish, and close order and open order.
I'm just gonna have to build some new pieces of magnetized stuff because all my Bretonians are magnetized to like actually make the triangle to make it easier to just move them as one.
Yeah, there was. Yeah,
does that make it easier?
Yeah, because if they're magnetized on the tray, I can just move them all as one. I don't have to worry about individually moving them or anything like that.
Oh, yeah. I guess that makes sense.
So It's really just cutting some sheet metal, right?
Yeah,
Like I just got to cut some sheet metal into the right size.
Yeah, and the base sizes are bigger. I think minimum is 25 now instead of 20.
Yeah.
So that at least standardizes a lot of stuff. I like the difference between marching and combat.
Yeah,
in terms of the formation.
Mm-hmm.
Because before you could just march no matter how no matter how you had your models set up.
Well, there was no like, yeah, there was only basically ranks, skirmish, and then Bretonnians had lance. That's it.
Yeah.
Right.
Right, but
there was no like difference in the ranks.
You could march move no matter how your models were ranked up.
Right.
Now you have to rank them up a certain way in order to get a benefit of that march move.
Yeah, no, I think that's cool.
Which is more, I guess, realistic. I guess.
Well, yeah,
because it's a marching column as opposed to a line.
Right, instead of a phalanx.
If you're into historicals, you'll know the difference.
Well, anyway,
Old World is
definitely a game I'm gonna want to play a few games of. I don't know if I'll get the box. I might just get the rule book, but depends what's in the Bretonnian side. It depends what's in the Bretonnian side.
Well, I have to get the box because it comes with. Isn't it Bretonnians and
Tomb Kings is what people are saying.
So we'll have to get the box anyway.
All right. Well, I guess we'll split.
Because I have to get the box.
I
think that's early next year.
Yeah, it's supposed to be January next year. So maybe it might be. Supposedly, might first go on sale or go on pre-order at LVO.
Oh, okay.
So hopefully it goes on sale at LVO, so I can just get it there.
Get there, get it, and go.
Yep.
We also have more info in regard. We got more articles about Epic, basically.
Yep.
And we got Warhammer Community just put out their take on the different legions, which to me tells me it's going to come out probably next month.
A December release, really? You think so?
Or late November.
Seems weird.
Because they're putting out because putting out the paint guides from I'm trying to see if it's Warhammer Community members or community members in general, which I think it is. I can't tell. They don't. GW. They really hate recognizing people. But if they're going this far, that means it must be close. So it's showing you different color schemes and things like that. So. But the sad thing about it is now it seems like they're just going to put everything out at once, as opposed to the base box and the supplement boxes later.
Makes me think their internal data suggests it's not going to do well, so they're not going to bother.
They're just put it out all at once.
Yeah, or remember it was delayed. It was supposed to be out earlier in the year.
That's what I mean. So originally
they
it was
might
supposed
just
to be out
combining
already.
Everything together and being like, screw it.
Maybe, but I mean, even then, I don't know. CW's bad at reading their audience. I think sometimes. But,
yeah.
So we'll see. Like, there's a Lehman Russ tank company. So all looks good to me. I like it. I mean, I could also 3D print it, but I'd rather not.
Yeah.
Pain in the ass. So so that's coming out soon. Old World's coming out soon. We had a few announcements since our last show. One was basically FLG announcing Champions Cup, and we can't say too much about it because it's still getting worked out. But from the post you see, it's basically an 8-man team event. It seems like it's gonna be similar to WTC, but not 100% sure. But it's an 8-man team event. It comes out next year. I don't think the dates are locked down yet, but
I mean, I'm interested. That seems fun as shit. I like team events, but I don't feel like they're super indicative of like the meta when people talk about like what's the meta. Like, I don't think team events should really count for that because they're a very different way of playing this game. But it's a really fun way of playing this game. Like, absolutely.
Yeah, I think right now there's a shift towards more team events in the U.S. There's plenty of team events in Europe and the U.K. There's a ton of them, but in the U.S. there's only been like at least one nationally known like team event that everyone knew about, for good or for bad, and I think this is probably the second would be like the second marquee event, if not the first. Going by the number of players we'll have.
Mm-hmm.
But once we get more information locked in, more info will be forthcoming. So, but everything's still being worked on. So, all the while we're working on LVO. So,
it's true.
Sure, it's lots of fun. But I'm looking forward to it. Our group is trying to get a team to get going, so we'll see how it goes. So that was announced. There were two announcements that I was kind of like seemed almost the same, but they're not the same. There was I think it's called the National Tabletop League.
What's that?
It seems to be a league, but that one's a team event league. And I know nothing about it.
Okay.
I watched the YouTube and then stopped watching it.
That's fair.
It seems to be more of a team event. It's in with conjunction, I believe, with the ATC, which changed their name to NATC, which is so their new name would be I think the new name now is North American Team Championship instead of American Team Championship.
Okay.
And I don't know if they switched to 8-man teams or are still doing 5-man teams. That I don't know. But the NTL is, I think, trying to like monetize that like league system with team events. So, I mean, it's the same guys that put up the excuse me, the Atlanta Open way back when. If people remember that,
I do.
I mean, we do, but I don't know if that was like, was it before COVID?
Yeah.
I can't remember now.
I think they've changed the name of it. I think
like
they still do it. It's a different name.
Oh no, I don't think they do it anymore. They only did it that 1 year. Yeah.
Are you
thinking of Warzone Atlanta?
I'm thinking of Warzone Atlanta. You're talking about like the pro tabletop guys.
Yes, they're not called that anymore though.
Right, but it's the same dudes, right?
Life. It's the same guys, yeah.
Is it that guy who got in trouble with Halo still involved?
Yes.
For like stealing a bunch of money or whatever, or like swindling people? There's something about that. I remember something about that from years ago.
So I'm trying to remember if it was. I think it was before COVID. So, and that's almost basically 4 years ago, a long time ago.
Yeah, they did the one event, and they were like they were going to be the thing.
Yes.
They were like, we're going to be we're pro tabletop now. We're like what it's going to be, and then nothing happened.
We are going to be the thing. So they're trying this now in order to create a more, I guess, standard team league. I don't know, team event, team league, whatever the fuck it's called. I don't know the full details because
when you read it, does it read like an MLM pyramid scheme?
Well, now you're gonna make me watch the video.
I'm just curious. I'm just asking questions. I don't know.
I hate you. I'll have to watch the video to get the full details. So, but I mean, they can make it happen. You know, good luck to them.
Sure, have fun. Hopefully, it's more than one event this time.
It should be because it's in conjunction with ATC, and ATC started a series of events of like I think it's 5 events total.
Yeah, the ATC guys know what they're doing.
Yeah, so
they won't get bamboozled. I'm sure it's fine.
I'm sure it'll be fine.
I'm sure too. That's what I'm saying. I'm sure it'll be fine.
So. Yeah, so they're already, and then Army Painter's also a sponsor, so they were able to get Army Painter on board.
Cool.
Because it says NTL is sponsored by Army Painter. So
Army Painter's great. Everybody likes Adam Abramowitz.
Yeah. So it should be. Well, I mean, good luck with them. We'll see what we'll see in the next year how it works out.
Mm-hmm.
I think what you said is really problematic, and I think you should evaluate that.
Who, me or Adam?
I'm not here to educate you. Figure it out yourself.
Do your own research. I'm not here to educate you.
That came out out of nowhere.
That was my way of being like, what are we talking about? Sorry.
I appreciate it.
Put it back down.
We're talking about Warhammer 40k MLM pyramid schemes.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Those happen.
Well, yeah. Speaking of which, Blue Table Painting's back. If we're talking about pyramid schemes.
Blue Table what?
Yeah, exactly. So the other thing that was announced, but not really, in my opinion, a big announcement, was the formation of the... I have to remember the name now. I don't remember the name. It's U.S. Wargaming Federation.
Mm-hmm.
And again, that's focused on team events. And what that is basically an organization. It's a nonprofit. And what they focus on is team events also. And basically using team tournaments and such as a way to feed into the Team USA for WTC.
Okay.
Like a farm system, basically. So, but they want to be more of an official body eventually, I think, where they have again, it's a non-profit. So they're trying to work, make more awareness for wargaming GW games specifically, not just any games at the start anyway. So right now the focus on is, I believe, Age of Sigmar and 40k, especially 40k, because a lot of people on the committee are from Team USA for 40k.
Yeah.
And I'm helping out only because part of it is also the officiating side of it.
Mm-hmm.
Where they want it to become more organized than what it is now. So they're in early development, in just fleshing things out and what we need to do and things like that. So that's something to look out for. Their goal is to have a set of standards for 40k AOS and eventually other game system for judges, so that there's more consistency in theory with judges, or at least that you expect certain things from judges because they were trained under this flagship entity.
Mm-hmm.
Somewhat similar to soccer especially in regards to, from my experience, from my perspective, in regards to AYSO. It seems structured that way somewhat, in that because there's certain training, education, things like that for the referees at a certain level, so that you expect a certain level of professionalism from the referees, even though they're parents for the most part, from your referees when your child or when you're playing a game. Which is fine. I am helping out because they asked me to. And I said it's not taking too much out of my day. It's not taking a lot of time for me to help, so it's not a big issue for me. It's something I believe we had talked about in the past, in the before COVID time.
Mm-hmm.
And it was
In the before times.
It was very aggressively rejected by the TOs at the time. So I'm hoping that these TOs have it, as time has passed, that they've hopefully become more amenable to something like this. When we finally start approaching people with it, of hey, do you want to be part of this? And we'll see what happens. So,
right.
I've seen it before, but if someone else is willing to do it, I'm more than happy to help a little bit, not get too vested into it, but still help them try to achieve what they want. The person in charge is very passionate about it, and very
That's good. Sometimes that's all it takes, one passionate person.
And he's not all over the place in a bad way, but in terms of he knows what's needed. It's very organized, at least. So
passionate and organized, bro.
Yeah.
Where can I get this guy to come work where I work? You just said my two favorite things in a coworker.
So I'm
Could you add reliable if you add passionate, reliable, and organized?
Well, I believe he's an Army Lieutenant Colonel.
So no?
Oh yeah.
Or yes? I don't know.
That's a yes.
My family's all Air Force, so I don't know what you're talking about.
And I think he's close to retirement, which is why he's very all over this. He has the time to do it.
You don't get that. You don't get that high without actually
being competent.
All of those things. Yeah. There's no way. If you can go to the academy, or you can get just like your college degree and end up as like a captain, and that's about as far as you ever go because you're an idiot. But like getting up to a lieutenant colonel takes a little something extra.
Yep.
Yeah. So that was more or less announced, and the officiating part aside, I like the fact that they have a more open way of getting on Team USA. Because before, I mean, you remember John and Dan. Before it was like, hey, these guys are on Team USA. We're like, okay, why are they all from the same general area?
Right, why?
Yeah. Why, though?
Because we're friends. That's why.
Yeah, basically. So, and they with this formation, they've become more open in regards to their process of choosing players to go to WTC. So we'll see. So at least in that regard, it's a bit more. I kind of like it because there's more transparency in how they do it. So we'll see. It's also headed by Sean Naden. And a few
Good dude. I've always liked Sean.
Who doesn't like 40K Jesus?
40K Satan.
Like I said, could be one and the same, depending who you ask.
40K Muhammad.
Oh wow!
What, they don't revere him as divine? He's just a divinely inspired prophet.
Yeah. I know.
He's just the last prophet.
Yeah, and
Glory be to his name.
No, that's Muhammad. Jesus, they believe was a prophet, but they don't believe he was divine. You know, they also don't believe he was crucified.
Yeah.
They believe that when they came to get him, he was like miraculously assumed into heaven.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
That's a nicer ending.
Yeah, they don't believe he was ever crucified.
Yeah, it's actually funny reading the Quran and then seeing all these side characters from like the Old Testament get like whole story arcs like Esau and stuff like that. It's pretty funny.
Yeah. There's some great like additional stories about Jesus and Mary. Because they do believe that like the whole like virgin thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it's what is it? The way it's summarized, like the Old Testament's the original, the New Testament's the sequel, and the Quran is the remake that combines the two.
Right. Yeah. But in like high poetry instead of a narrative form. So nobody knows what the hell's going on.
Right.
And also allegedly, to its advantage, one author instead of several dozen.
Or 100.
Okay.
Yeah.
Welcome to TFG Radio, your biblical podcast.
Exactly.
I mean, it is
40K's only Catholic
podcast.
That's right.
For 40K. So.
And to be fair,
no, we're an old world podcast now.
The emperor is basically Space Jesus, right?
Yes. Also, I have read The End of the Death too, and I have lots of thoughts and feelings.
I hate you so much, dude.
Dude, I have very good reasons why I could burn through a 600-page book in 18 hours.
Dude, don't you remember the last one? When the last one came out, I burned through it in like a day and a half. Like, I was done before like everybody else in our chat. But I just don't have the time right now, and it's killing me. Like, seriously. I want to read that book. I want to read that fucking book, and I can't do it. I'm dying over
it's so good. Oh my god, it's so good. Although, again, I will... not that I don't have notes. I think the only thing I will say that's not really spoilerish is it's so big because it's literally trying to wrap up like 40 different plot lines.
Oh.
And it's like, and most of them are honestly not that important, but it's still like, oh, this minor character who was in the series like 4 times? Yeah, we need to make sure they get a satisfying like narrative conclusion. I'm like, okay, I appreciate that, but also not totally necessary.
Yeah, but you still gotta wrap it up. so to speak.
Yeah.
It's just a third
yeah.
one, and then it's done, right?
Yes.
Yes, so one
Third
more
one
left.
is the end. Yeah.
God, I love that they picked Abnett to do that.
Yes, this is the smartest move they
Like,
made by far.
If they had been like,
shit's
yeah, we're going to have
fire.
3 parts at the end of the death, but we're going to have Abnett write the first one, and McNeil write the second one, and Nick Kime write the third one. And I love Nick Kime, by the way. He'd do a great job with whatever Vulcan's story arc is at the end, because it's Nick Kime. I'd still be like, could you just get Abnett to do them all?
Yeah. I have many thoughts. Maybe a bonus show or something.
I'm waiting for the audiobook because the audiobook's amazing.
I ain't waiting. I just am waiting for time.
Isn't it like this week or next week, or supposed to be out this week?
I mean, I have a copy.
I don't even know.
Yeah.
I have one.
I know. I know we all do, but I don't know. I'll probably end up reading it. I don't know.
It's
Come on,
just
old man.
Sit down and reading. Just sit down and read. It's great.
I want to read.
Life's so hard for you, dude.
Yeah, both my shoulders were hurting yesterday because I got my tetanus and my shingles shot.
Oh.
Spent like forever in Mexico drinking all the mezcal you can want. Come home, have to get 2 shots and can't read a book. Your life is so hard.
It's horrible.
God, you Gen X piece of trash.
So, all right, fine. I'll read it. I'll read it just to lord it over to John.
I'm
Tom
surprised you haven't already done that.
I'm surprised Tom hasn't read it yet.
He's busy as shit too. He has like 1,800 kids.
Yeah, that's true.
What's he supposed to read? There's always somebody awake who needs a bottle or a diaper change or some shit.
Yeah.
I'm so glad I'm not doing that phase anymore.
No.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, that's the worst phase.
Well, Care Queen says it's out on Audible. Hold on, I gotta go download it.
Anyways, Space Muhammad.
So we also had GW put out an FAQ. That's not an official FAQ, but we're going to use this FAQ for our big marquee event.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Whatever. I mean, that's what FLG does. They put out an event FAQ, and it's only for that event. And if other people use it, they use it. I mean, I get it. Like, this is the company that makes the game, but like, whatever. Let them do what they want.
Right. But
Hey, at least they answered the fucking questions
Yeah, it's a very good point.
instead of like, hey, come to this event. How are you ruling this thing? I don't know.
No.
so
like-
the normal GW events?
Yeah.
Right. This is what I'm saying. Like, applaud them for doing the thing people want them to do. But nobody's ever happy. Like,
No.
hey, we're putting out this FAQ for our event, and everybody's like, oh, this is bullshit. Like, what do you mean? This is what you've wanted.
Oh yeah, there was that. In regards
Stop
to
complaining. Like, just
I mean-
find some damn joy for once in your life, huh? And get off the internet, unplug, walk out of your mom's basement, touch some grass, drink a beer.
Wow.
Like, fucking for real, guys. Like, they put out an FAQ that answers a ton of questions, and you're mad because it doesn't have some magical stamp. Come on.
Some of them are mad because the answers contradict each other. Or
Too bad.
contradict
It's their game.
Yeah, I mean, this is
I mean, that's
is
what.
true.
I mean, has it made me upset in the past? Sure. But that's always been my stance, which is if they give an answer, that's the answer. Because this is their game.
Yep.
Like, and that's how it played. So, sorry.
Right.
If I give an answer, you can complain all you want because I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. Like, sure, maybe maybe it's right, maybe it's not right, but like, they make the game. They gave an answer. That's the way it is. Don't like it, don't go to the event.
Yep. I mean, I don't know, maybe it's a sign of just culture in general, but like, yeah, you don't have to participate in things you don't like.
Nope. You also can
After
just
a
keep
certain
scrolling.
age.
Yep. Yeah, and also
There's plenty of things I did that I didn't like as a kid.
That's true. But also remember, like, no one's responsible for your emotional state but you. So if you're really upset about this, that's a you problem, not a GW problem. So, yeah.
But GW has
Like,
free rent in my head.
I disagree with, like, half the rulings, and that's fine.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, it's like, well, I disagree with this, but is this my game? No. Well, I guess I'll just shut my fucking mouth then, right?
And also, like,
what else can you do?
I might disagree, but at least there's an answer now for the thing that's been a problem. Hey, this has come up in 18 of my games, and nobody can agree on how to rule this. Hey, here's a ruling. I don't like it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Too bad. Like, get over it.
Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff I have to change in the FAQ going into LVO.
And that's fine. And again, I'm totally fine with giving, because I much prefer the answer of, hey man, this is how it works. Well, why? Because that's the way that me and other FLG judges have logically constructed it to work.
Right.
Oh, okay. I'd much rather be a say, because that's the way GW says it works.
Right.
Do I agree? No, you don't have to agree. No,
that's a lot better answer to that why question.
And I won't even go into the next part, Danny, that you're saying. Why? Because that's the GWFAQ. Do you agree with it? Yeah. It doesn't matter if I agree with it, bro.
Right.
Well, I don't think that's the way it works. Do you think that's the way it works? It doesn't matter.
Right.
Right.
My opinion on that has no bearing on this. This is
literally
this is what GW says. So
yeah, literally, my opinion doesn't matter on it. It's clear cut. It works now. There's no ambiguity. So too bad.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's always the hardest thing for people to do, is to realize, like, hey, guess what? Your opinion doesn't calculate into this at all.
Right.
Right. Sorry,
think,
you're.
Yeah, people have a hard time with that, especially Americans.
Especially what?
Americans.
Yeah. That's fair.
Which is weird because we have the Electoral College, so your vote literally doesn't count.
Yeah. No.
Which is the ultimate.
What's it supposed to?
Your opinion doesn't matter. Hey, maybe we got rid of the Electoral College. American 40K players would be more like okay with like not having their opinion count because they could get it out otherwise.
That would require them like
to think.
Yeah.
I think we're making a lot of extra fans this episode.
One way or the other, I think.
Since we're talking about LVO, everyone's gearing up for LVO. I know for us as the judge staff, we got now that I'm back from my sabbatical, we gotta, or at least I have to start doing more stuff, and we got some stuff going on and some stuff answered, but I still have to start organizing all the judges into what their roles are going to be over the weekend, because some will be handling the narrative or the friendly, some will be handling the RTT. We don't need, we have to see who wants to stay late. I know Danny's staying late, I believe, for this round at 16 or round of shadow round, whatever we decide.
I always do shadow round, so I'll be there.
And make sure everybody knows what the roles are. Know the role for that weekend. I'm looking forward to it. It seems to be it's a week earlier this year, so.
I mean, allegedly, what I'd heard is that Rio has ripped up their buffet and turned it into a food court, and it should be open by the time LVO happens.
That'd be nice.
Yes,
I don't remember ever going to the buffet.
I went when it first opened, like 30 years ago or whatever.
Was it open the last?
No.
Two times
it was closed since COVID.
Yeah. Okay.
I liked it because it was a buffet that had basically every it's like a buffet around the world, I think it was called, or something like that.
Oh, I remember that. I went to it a long time ago.
Yeah. That's what it was. So, and then during COVID they closed it, but I guess they're going to reopen it and add more food options. So hopefully there'll be more food options.
I mean, if it's not open, who close it down, rip it up, give me a burger stand.
Fingers crossed.
Just quick food. I mean, not that I eat much during the day, but, it'd be nice to grab something to eat, maybe, if I actually wanted to.
Yeah. So we should have... I'm hoping to do the LVO announcement probably after Thanksgiving. So to let everybody know what's going on, and then then we should be good to go. I'm
looking forward to it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's like my will to live, LVO. There's also going to be something I've been working on. I won't say too much because I can't, but LVO 24 should be when I can start saying more and people can see. So I'm really excited for that because it's super cool.
Okay.
All right.
I know it's your OnlyFans, but that's fine. I don't judge.
Hey man, the people want what they want, so
It's true, they do.
You gotta give the people what they want.
Apparently, what they want is feet pics.
Yeah. If
Who
you're
knew?
good at something, never give it to people for free.
That's right.
There you go.
Even if you're mediocre at it, don't do it for free. Come on, guys, have some respect
is
for yourself. All right.
Yeah, don't do anything for free.
Turn on that OnlyFans. Have some respect.
That describes TikTok.
No, because you don't get paid for that. That's what I'm saying. The OnlyFans. Have some respect.
Yeah, but if you're even if you're mediocre at something, you can still.
Yeah, but if you're doing it on TikTok, you're doing it for free.
Is there anything else?
Nah.
LVO. What else
about
was there? I thought there was another.
The FAQ.
I managed to get a good rant in before the end. We're good.
Yeah, I know, John.
I mean, do you want me to rant? I could rant. I got plenty of things to go on to.
I'll allow it, but I'm watching you.
No.
Okay, but can I
we
give
talked
you
about this
can
off
I
air.
give you a topic?
Sure. No lie. This is something that I used to do when I was bored, hanging out in a coffee shop in the Inland Empire with my friends, where we would just, because we weren't 21 yet, so it was hard to get into bars. But this coffee shop was open at like 2 a.m. And I would just sit there, and people would be like, "Okay, Danny, rant about this," and I go for 5 to 10 minutes about whatever they told me.
Ooh.
Is that coffee shop you, me, and Natalie ended up at over by like Griffith Park that one time?
No, this
Early
is
in the morning?
Claremont. This is
Oh,
in
okay.
Claremont.
Oh, you're talking college years.
I'm talking high school.
High school.
Yeah, he did say under 21.
Yeah. Anyway, what do you want me to rant about?
I'm not giving you a topic. Hell no. Because the only topics I can think of are going to get us banned from YouTube or hated by everybody, or because it ain't going to be 40K related.
Yeah, so it has to be 40K related, or just gaming related. It can be gaming related.
It's too broad.
I know that's too broad. I know some of the things you want to talk about, but I said we wouldn't talk about it.
Yeah, I know. I'm being good.
I'm also tempted to let you go and talk about it.
I've only had 3 of these cut waters. It's fine. I'm in control.
So for those,
Jesus, take the wheel.
No, after like six of these, that's definitely Jesus takes the wheel, because these things are like 12.5%.
I feel like the little ones are stronger.
No,
the
these
littler
are
ones,
This is
I
the
feel-
big. This is the big one of the little ones. This is 12.5%. It's just 2 little ones in one can.
Seriously? I thought the little
yeah.
ones were just more concentrated.
Nope.
I'm just a lightweight. Is that what you're trying to say politely?
wow,
Well, no, what I want to say is you've gotten old, but
I mean, that's also true.
could be
It's
both.
fine.
are we really? Oh, I forgot.
Those are
Are we
mutually
really gonna go
exclusive
see
things.
Tool? This is true. So we're gonna go see Tool in February, though, right? Like that's
Yeah.
happening. That wasn't just
Yeah. No,
T-Boyle
we got to
stock.
put a chat together with Jeff so we can go see Tool and Tom.
Yeah, hell yeah.
February, Tool happening.
Sounds good.
I'll be at Cherokee Open.
That's fine.
Yeah, we'll see. All right.
I'll drive.
Sweet.
I don't mind driving. It's fine. Actually, Tom can drive.
Dom can drive. Yeah, he doesn't do anything.
Tom will drive.
Yeah.
Tom, we just volunteered you to drive, buddy.
He'll drive you there and back, but not go to the concert.
No, he wants to go to see
He'll
Tool.
be Homer Simpson. He'll be Homer Simpson in the back seat of the car, just like, oh boy, some of the best times of my life have been in the back seat of a car, just sitting there rocking, listening to music, eating.
Tom definitely wants to see Tool. He's fine.
Yeah, it's true. Tom will see Tool with us.
All right, I forgot what I was going to say.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, so if you are so we do have a Patreon. Go to look up TFG Radio on Patreon.com. One of the questions I asked about is what else they wanted from our Patreon. And we did get one about John being in different reenactment gear, which might be doable.
Yeah.
I'm not cosplaying for these people.
With Photoshop, can we just get the same picture of you and then just work a little bit on Photoshop?
Photoshopping
different costumes
myself
of you?
for these people.
I mean, we could. We don't need John. We could just grab
True,
it.
we have plenty of pictures.
You don't have that many pictures of me.
More than you think.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Hey. Excuse me, FBI. I need to report. Anyway. I need to report a crime.
But one of the other ones I was mentioned to us was that we do like a story time.
Oh yeah.
That ones that either we just never told or just aren't really don't want to tell in public, like on YouTube or when we had the Twitch stream or
right.
show. Which I don't mind. That's an easy thing to do for me.
Yeah, wasn't it like just difficult games, really hard judge calls, SoCal Danny stories.
SoCal Danny stories. Someone did mention SoCal Danny stories. But I think, Danny, what we can do is channel your rant energy. If you want to do basically rant about a subject and let the Patreon members toss that subject to you.
I'm totally fine doing that. I would be very entertained. I should do that. You know what? I'll record them on Tuesday nights, like on my I'll just do the audio log like driving home.
On the drive home
on Tuesday nights.
Oh God.
That'll be quality. Yeah.
Why not? Why not?
So in order to get story time from Adam and John, Tom doesn't have stories. If John would want to do a story, he doesn't have to, but I guess it'd be mainly me. And then drive time rant with Danny. Make sure you join the Patreon. Just look up TFG Radio at patreon.com. It's really $1 or $5 a month. Not that expensive. And I'll probably do the first story for next week, and we'll see how often we do it. But it would at least be once a month, if not more, if Danny does his rants. And I do more stories. I won't say how many years of stories I have, but I have years of stories. So
I've got a fair few at this point. I mean, that's always the fun of finding us at events and just being like, "Hey, what about this?" When we can talk without
that's usually the only way I tell stories. The other thing is, one, I will give a warning on my stories. If you have certain, it's almost kind of a never meet your heroes kind of warning. So
We're
if you have any
heroes.
certain preconceived notions about certain players, if I'm talking about that player, don't listen to it.
Yeah,
that's my only warning.
If you want to
if you have certain religious beliefs, you shouldn't listen either.
Well, I'm pretty sure anyone with really dedicated religious beliefs would never listen to us anyway.
We're the only Catholic radio podcast, 40K podcast. How they not listen to us?
Yeah,
well non-RCs might not.
Look, all non-RCs, I don't care what anybody says. Non-RCs just want to be RCs. They just don't want to admit it.
Oh, Jesus. All right, and good night, everybody. Damn.
That's the kind of content you'll get on from John, anyway. You get actually stories from me.
You'll get whatever you want from me. Rants, stories.
Yeah.
Look, I'm just saying, if nobody invented the printing press, nobody ever heard of Martin Luther. It's all technology's fault.
I guess we're going on John.
Should have stayed in the Catholic Dark Ages, perpetual crusades, and nobody knowing nothing.
To be fair, the various Germanic and Norwegian city-states that declared for Martin Luther after like 5 years of the whole wall and the thing helped too, because they had militaries.
They only did it for the money.
Even without,
they didn't want to pay no tithe no more.
But that does not change the fact that people would have heard about him, because you had numerous populous city-states that were like, yeah, no, dog, this is cool. Let's just roll with this.
No, it was just the rich people. As usual, in history, it's only the rich people making the decisions for everybody else. Because when rich people think something needs to change, it changes. And until they think it needs to change, it doesn't.
Yeah. And that's why you always knew the vaccine was safe, because all the rich people were taking it first.
That's right. That's right.
That was the sign of like, I can trust this.
Right. Yep. Anyways.
Yeah, we're alienating our fan base anyway.
We were talking about the Patreon.
Yes, join the Patreon.
Join the Patreon, and I can do this all the time.
And, you know, honestly, if we get enough people who are interested in the Patreon, like, soon I'll have more time to kind of, like, hobby. So I might have, like, hobby nights where I'll just sit on Twitch or stream or on YouTube and just, like, answer questions as I kind of work on armies and stuff. So
I can sit on YouTube, and you can ask me any political question you want.
Yeah.
Or religious.
Well, if you want to hear, you know, hear thoughts from the head paint judge of LVO and all that. Like, how do I get my score really good?
I was going to say something, but I don't want to.
Yeah. How do I maximize?
If you want to know what Adam was going to say, join the Patreon. He'll tell you.
Exactly.
Yeah, you don't want to know what I was going to say. Danny's statement.
If you want to know our deepest, darkest inner thoughts, join the Patreon.
Nobody wants that. I don't want to hear my deepest, darkest thoughts.
Everybody wants that. Everybody liked that.
Yeah.
Carlac approves.
So I'll put up
my
a poll,
bay.
I'll put up a post in the next day or two to see what subject they want Danny to rant about.
On Off the Rails, though, not on the public feed. On Off the Rails.
No, it would be both. It'd be the Patreon Facebook group and then the Patreon.
Well, I'm going to listen to the Patreon members before I listen to the random plebes.
Oh wow!
I'm sorry if
John attitude.
I know. I'm channeling John right now.
It's infectious.
Yeah. No, I'm just a mercenary at heart. So I'm like, are you paying me? Yes, I'll care about your opinion more then. Okay.
I'll take your money and still not care about your opinion.
There you go.
This is why I'm a man of the people, John.
I shit on the people. I give a damn about the people and what they want.
Yeah, we all know this, yes.
This is why people love me and respect me.
Sure.
That's right.
Whatever you believe.
That's right.
So besides the Patreon, we have a lot of stuff we want to going on. I'll put that post up both in the Facebook Patreon group and the Patreon page itself. And then I'll probably record something over the weekend and have something out next week for the patrons. And if you want to hear what it is, just sign up. I believe that is it. Don't forget, if you haven't signed up for LVO, I know the Champs is sold out, but there's plenty of other events, or just to get the badge, just to hang out. Because you do have to
hang out.
To get
it's
in.
super fun.
It's Vegas.
There's a link in the description below for both the Patreon for LVO, and there should be one, if I did it correctly, for Cherokee Open. Because
I do want to do Cherokee Open one of these years.
Like 3 weeks after.
Yeah, 3 weeks after LVO is pretty hard, but yeah.
Yeah, no.
One of these years I'll do Cherokee, either to play or to help judge.
So.
But
a year when I don't do LVO, sure.
It's I have to fly into Atlanta and then get on a 3-hour car ride to Cherokee.
That sounds awesome. See, I'd leave a day early so I could go to Atlanta for a night.
Hang on, Hotlanta.
Yeah, Hotlanta. Dude, Atlanta is a dope city.
Atlanta.
Oh my god.
Check out the strip clubs.
I mean, yes. They're very famous for that, but there's also lots of other things.
This is a family podcast?
Are we?
Excuse me, sir, this is a Christian server?
Oh, okay. I'll leave then. Sorry.
This is the Roman Catholic
very
podcast?
good signs when you know you're on a flight to Atlanta.
Yeah. I will say, if we have any listeners...
That's what I'm talking about at the end of the show, not at the beginning.
If we have any listeners from Chicago, I was just there. Pequod's. Pequod's is the truth. Oh my god. That was the best pizza I've ever had in my fucking life. But if you have any other recommendations for pizza, if you're from Chicago, better than Pequod's, hit us up. Let me know, because I might end up back there for another conference. So, I'm always looking for good food.
Yeah, I only had the deep dish from...
Giordano's?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they have that in Vegas. That's like the big chain one. Big P Quads was. I mean, I texted you guys this. That shit was. Oh.
Yeah.
So good. I should have ordered a small to myself. Fuck this personal shit.
I believe that's it. Don't forget to visit our sponsors, Hobbygoblins at hobbygoblins.com.
They do great stuff.
They have, check out their YouTube channel because they're doing a lot of battle reports. They recently had a battle report with Glacial Geek, and they do a lot of props, 40K props, and painting tutorials and things like that. So if you're looking to, as opposed to looking at getting better at 40K the game, they basically focus on getting better at 40K painting, or just painting in general. So
that's cool.
So make sure you check them out. Again, don't forget our Patreon. Just go to patreon.com, look up TFG Radio. And I believe our next show would probably be in 3 weeks, because in 2 weeks is Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I won't be around for that.
Yeah, no.
Thanksgiving.
I mean, I'll be around, but I'm not going to be able to do it. But I mean, I probably could, but
so
shouldn't.
So by that time, the preview should be out, and the World Championship of Warhammer, or whatever they're calling it, will be done. And I believe we'll see what else is out by then, or what other happenings are happening. But yeah, I believe we'll be doing the next episode after Thanksgiving. So I guess this is technically the Thanksgiving episode.
Then play.
Well, what are you thankful for, Adam?
Yeah, because I have to put Alice's Restaurant after the
Yep, and put Alice's Restaurant at the end. You know what to do.
So for those that are still listening, I'm warning you now, there's a 15-minute song at the end of this.
No, it's ridiculous. You should have turned it off. You should have turned this episode off 10 minutes ago, I'm just saying.
So what am I thankful for? I'm thankful for surviving my international trip. I'm thankful that my diabetes is under control. I'm thankful for being able to go to all the events and meet all the peoples.
Would you say you're thankful to Wilford Brimley?
The diabetes.
You said your diabetes is under control. I'm just curious.
So thankful being able to be a judge of the peoples, I guess. Family, friends, all that good stuff. All the typical stuff. So just hoping for a better year than this one. Which is actually
right.
Oh,
Jesus.
It wasn't too bad. For me. So, John?
Me?
What are you thankful for?
Thankful? No. Talking about thankful up in here. Talking about thankful.
I'm thankful for having friends that are understanding.
Boy.
If you saw what Danny...
Oh, they did, because it's on our cameras right now for YouTube.
Danny told me I'm number one.
He did.
That's right.
He did.
Number one with the bullet.
And he felt so strongly about it, he used the longest finger he has.
Yeah.
No, I'm afraid that you said with a bullet, Danny.
Me, that can always be literal.
But John?
What am I thankful for?
I know. That's why I'm afraid.
I am thankful for Baldur's Gate 3.
Oh, my God.
It's a fucking great game.
It's a great game.
You know they're adding a
permadeath mode.
Permadeath.
Yeah, I read that. I will not be playing permadeath mode, just so everybody's aware.
No.
Not doing that. Not interested in
you.
it being hard. I play it on easy because I like to just play.
Yeah.
I like to just sit and play and not hate my existence when I play video games. If I want to hate my existence, I will play any one of the Total War games, which I play when I want to be mad. I'll play any Total War game. Those
I'll
things
play
are
Civ on hard.
Or Civ on hard, yeah. That's another one. Yeah. So or I'll try to play any game competitively online.
Oh, God. Yeah.
You don't have to worry about Overwatch now.
Right. No. That's true. So what am I thankful for? Baldur's Gate 3, because it's a great game and I can have fun. It's fun.
Yeah, so.
Danny, what are you thankful for? Because Adam's not going to ask you.
God.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say something else, but apparently that's it. Okay.
How honest do you want me to be on Maine? Like, how earnest on Maine can I be here?
Well, I don't know. Do you, bro?
It depends. Do you want to put the candy coated version here, and then do the honest one on Patreon?
Maybe.
So we can.
I am, as always, thankful for my children, who are wonderful, and give me excuse to buy. Especially my son, who gives me excuse to buy models. I'm thankful for my TFG brothers like John, Adam, and Tom, and also, the extended universe like Jeff, who have made many difficult times so much more enjoyable, and good times even more enjoyable. I'm thankful for our fans who came up and talked to us at SoCal, and even if you've never come and talked to us, I'm thankful for you for listening and being with us for the 7-8 years we've been doing this, right? Like,
it will be 8 years in February.
Yeah, so
January.
For a long time.
No, it'll be 9 years.
9, yeah, Jesus. Oh man, decade. We gotta have to do a big thing.
What's 9 years?
This
9 years
TFG
for
radios. I mean, I was on episode 8 of TFG. I was one of the first guests.
You weren't on every.
I was a special guest on certain episodes, which were always the best episodes, by the way. Most listened to, most downloaded, greatest episodes of all time. Everything we did whenever I was on TFG Radio before I was a permanent member was the best. It was the best episodes ever. Everything was gilded and gold.
Look, it's the best. All right, it's huge. All right,
it was huge. All of them had huge numbers. It was the biggest number possible. We made the most money.
Look,
stop inflating your net worth, John.
Yeah.
How dare you?
What am I thankful for?
Dare you? My net worth is, if it was inflated, I'd be worth dozens of dollars.
Yeah. I'm worth $. All right, dozens of $.
Oh, we can inflate the negative. Yeah, we can inflate it into the negative. All you want.
What is it? Thankful for new Tyranid models. And yeah, actually, you know what? I'll say thankful for FLG. I love the events they run. I love being part to judge. I love their secondhand store and the access that gives you to getting new models or unloading models. Especially Junior, who did me a huge fucking favor by taking a bunch of models without me actually categorizing them and him having to do it himself. So big love to that. And yeah, I'm thankful for LVO coming up. And what else? Yeah, that's it. If you want, be a patron. Be a patron. And I'll have another. What is Danny really thankful for?
Patron.
Be a patron, and we'll get that episode up.
Yeah. But I'm thankful to the people, John, because I'm a champion of the people.
Yeah, whatever. They'll survive without me. It's
deeply appreciate the fact that we've done this for so long and people still bother to listen to us.
Just like the world would continue to turn without me, the people will continue to be fine without me. It's fine. They don't need me. They don't need my love.
Are the people fine?
I mean, they're just
5-inch foot long is $16
just
now. Are the people fine?
They are just as fine or not as fine with or without my love. That's the point. They will be just as fine or not as fine today or tomorrow, whether I love them or not. I'm just saying.
Oh my god.
I'm just saying.
All right.
I'm really going to piss off John. Hold on. I want to piss off John real quick.
Oh god.
All you need is love. Do, 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 do.
For those that don't know, John is not a fan of the Beatles.
They're fine.
All you need
They're
is
fine.
love.
They're just not as good as everybody says.
He's a Dave Clark 5
Love
kind
is
of
all
guy.
you need.
Look, I really made a bunch of people mad the other night when I told them that U2 is just the Gen X version of the Beatles.
Well, U2 does definitely suck.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I can see,
The
I can see
Beatles
that,
aren't great either. They're fine. Like they're great. They're fine. They did things. They're super popular. U2 is super popular. Was anything they did like super groundbreaking? Not really. It's fine.
I'd say the Beatles did more groundbreaking things than U2 ever did.
Yeah.
U2 is just one of those like overinflated bands of like, no, you just suck.
I mean, then Gen X just has bad taste, which I've been saying for years too. Shake your head all you want. These are your people, Adam. You own them.
No. I'm shaking my head at you because there's a lot of bad takes you have because that we talk about, and you're like, I don't like that, and We're always amazed at it. So
Whatever.
I highly suspect.
Or I'm right.
Anyway, I'm gonna go watch
No,
Invincible episode 2. Yeah, everyone go watch Invincible episode 2.
Are they putting
Season
those
two,
out
episode two.
one after
Yeah,
another, or
every
they release them all at once?
No, once a week.
Lame.
For which one, Invincible?
Yeah.
Isn't it only 2 episodes?
No, it's just one episode every week.
So it's just the 2 episodes that are out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
New one came out today.
Yeah, Loki finished up this week. So.
Which was good. I really liked it. It was very close
enjoyed
to the Agents of Asgard storyline from the comics. If you've not read those, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
I feel like it's a very emotionally resonant ending that also still leaves room for cool stuff in movies, but kind of
Hold up.
the,
Loki's based on a comic book?
Shut the fuck up, John. God damn.
Sea lion, but
Yeah. We are not so gullible, all right?
No, but you paused long enough that somebody listening to this later is going to be like really mad for like 5 seconds. Like they're going to be really mad for a couple seconds.
hopefully this holds everybody over for 3 weeks. Considering we just shit on the Beatles and U2.
Enjoy Alice's Diner.
I said the Beatles were fine. I never said U2 was fine. The Beatles are fine.
So it's confirmed John is a Dave Clark 5 guy.
I don't even know what that is.
Yeah, I have
They
no
were
idea
the
who you're referencing.
second band, because I just heard a podcast about them. They were the second band that came after the Beatles, and they actually beat their standings on the charts, but they didn't. They weren't innovative like the Beatles were, so they generally faded away after a while. And plus, the guy was able to get the rights to his music, but he never put it out because he thought they would be worth more for some weird reason.
Okay.
That's why nobody knows them now, except for people like me that listen to odd podcasts about.
Apparently, dude. What? Yeah, I have never had more evidence that you have too much time on your hands than I just got right now.
Paint some fucking armies, bro.
I had a multiple hour flights and driving for from Durango to Mazatlan.
Read a book, you degenerate.
I know. Seriously.
Stop listening to all these goddamn podcasts.
Like, what the fuck?
This was before the book came out. So
Any book is better than whatever podcast that was.
it's actually fairly interesting. So.
All right. Let's end this. Let's
Well,
put the
any
show
last
out of its
words?
misery.
Any other last words, Kenny?
Play games, be nice to each other.
John?
Peace, love, and rock and roll.
That's not John, but John?
Stop listening to U2. Stop buying tickets to their concerts.
John begins his crusade.
Sage advice.
Deus Volt. Against U2.
I'll put out a press release. Well, again, thanks everybody for listening. Hope everyone has a happy and safe Thanksgiving.
Welcome to Karaoke with Danny.
Good night, everybody, and have a